IndianaSRN. Find upcoming games, video highlights, and much more. Follow us now at IndianaSRN.
Live from Aspen Creek Grill, it's the Sports Zone. It's Keith Myers right here on IndianaSRN. Tonight we're going to feature the state championship of lacrosse of the 2024 champions. Carmel for the girls, Hamilton Southeastern for the boys. But before we do that, Mike Bennett is the owner-operator of Aspen Creek Grill. What do you got here for us?
This is our world-famous powwow shrimp, Keith. One of our most popular appetizers. Let me guess. Yep.
I'll just try one.
That's about to happen live.
That's
what do you
pretty
think? Yeah, people love them. They order them all the time. It's probably one of the most we sell. This and potato skins. So we're glad to have you out here tonight. So thanks for doing this show with us.
Different atmosphere at Aspen Creek Grill this year with the new location, not a new location, but a couple of new feature items that you have here at Aspen Creek Grill, and one of those is where we're doing this show.
Oh yeah, we added.
I'll take that for you.
Yeah, I'm sure you will. Yeah, we added on the patio. Finally got that done. It's enclosed, air conditioner, heat in there, ceiling fans, TVs are coming soon. So it'll be an indoor-outdoor kind of field. Then we have this side for people to wait on and enjoy themselves, have a beverage, sit outside and relax. So
one of the things we love about it is our show now is outside where people can now linger and they can wait for their name to be called, watch the show, and then also go in and get delicious food. Talk about the specials that's going on this month in June and July.
Yeah, right now we're running some, it's called a sweet and spicy kind of sauce, salmon and sweet and sticky spicy ribs. Those are two of our featured things with a berry salad. Been very popular with blueberry, strawberry. So it's been refreshing. A couple new drinks we added to the menu. Those are really good as well. So you have to come in and check it out.
It opens from Monday through Thursday, 3 to 10.
Yep.
And then on Friday, you're open from 3 to
11.
11.
Yeah, open for lunch on Friday, Saturday, Sunday,
lunch.
11 to 10. So.
Talk a little bit about the relationship with IndianaSRN and Aspen Creek Grill. I think this is our third or fourth year doing the show. Talk about why you support us at IndianaSRN, and then you support a lot of schools around the area as well.
Well, I mean, I've always said this before. It seems like a repetitive thing, but building these relationships with you and the people that you can reach out to, and then also providing the community an opportunity to have dinner with us, but also letting them know what's going on out there in high school sports. So, and now you guys have branched out to college, so it's just opening up more area of opportunity for us to reach the masses.
And there's something going on down in the south side of Indianapolis. Hopefully that we'll be able to talk about maybe later on this summer.
Yeah, hopefully. Maybe a surprise coming up.
There we go. Talk a little bit about these two schools, Carmel and Hamilton Southeastern. Hamilton Southeastern is right down the street for you. I know they do a lot of tailgating during football season, but these teams who have won these championships, pretty kind of cool to have them come in tonight.
Yeah, especially having them right in our backyard. You know, HSE is big supporters of Aspen Creek. We also support them, being sponsors for them, donating things, doing these fundraisers for them, helping them raise money for these kids so they can go and do the sports that they do. Obviously, Carmel's a little bit farther away from us, but it's good to have them come across 37. I know it's a challenge sometimes, so
especially with the construction going on.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're glad to have them. So
you got a concert series as well that's going on, and you got a big shows this weekend. Talk about maybe people going to come see the Dave Matthews Band. What time you open, and can they get in and out, and be able to miss the concert?
Yeah, we like to say we're like a pre-tailgating place to come have dinner, have a few drinks, and then head over to the show. Dave's this weekend on Friday and Saturday. Tyler Childers is this Thursday. It's a sold-out show, and a lot of people don't know who he is, but it's going to be kind of crazy on Thursday as well. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday, get in here around 4 o'clock or so, sit down, relax, and then head over to the show around 6.
Yeah, and the show starts right at about 7:30 or 8.
Correct.
Yep. I know you go to a lot of those concerts, and it's a neat little venue. The expansion of this building is going to be able to serve a lot more people. Talk about that side of the dinner. You got, 25 extra tables or so?
Yeah, so that's one of the biggest complaints is people are always like, well, we don't go there anymore because the wait's too long. So now this will alleviate some of that wait and be able to seat more people and get more people in and out of here in time.
Jerry and I walked in earlier today, and it's really cool on that side. It's cool on this side. I love the window. The atmosphere here is really kind of cool. Hoping that this will go well for you guys.
Well, thank you very much. We appreciate it.
Our next show here will be August 2nd. It's the Little League show, that you love because you love the Little League kids. And then we have our preview coaches show later on in August as well. So we'll be here 3 times. Mike, thank you so much. We'll take a break. When we come back, we're going to talk to the Carmel head coach of the Lady Lacrosse Greyhounds right after this.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family. Come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Back from the Sports Zone show on IndianaSRN, Keith Myers with you, and Josh Miller, the head coach of Carmel High School. But before we talk about the head coaching job, let's talk about the president's job of the Indiana Girls Lacrosse Association. First time that IndianaSRN did 11 games during the regular season. First of all, thank you for trusting us to do that. But what was the output of that, and are we coming back?
Oh, yeah, we definitely want you back. Yeah, it was a fantastic product. Yeah, it was a fantastic product. The feedback from people, particularly coaches outside the area that were able to watch some of these games, was always, just like, man, we want to be on there. We want an opportunity because the product and the quality was so good. We really enjoyed having it. And we were able to showcase as we went through towards the end of the year. I talked to you, Keith, and we said how many teams we were able to show this year and showcase by doing more than just the Final Four, because we had been doing the Final Four with you for the last couple of years, but adding that really helped expose, I think, the game.
One of the things that we accomplished is on the Saturday games, you had teams from Evansville, you had teams from up in the region that got to come down and play in Indianapolis and got to see those. And I think the biggest thing was the Evansville teams really got some. When it came down to the Final Four, teams or players knew those teams because they already seen them on TV during the regular season.
Right. You add that to then playing, also we go down there or they come up and, a lot of the teams do play, play them. But, yeah, you add that video aspect. I know I watched a couple of the games. We were on a bus ride at one point, and I watched the Center Grove St. Joe's game and really enjoyed watching that. I was sitting on my phone as we're riding somewhere for a game. But, you're right. I think it certainly exposed. Even our girls watch a lot of the teams just because they have friends from the club or just anything, and they enjoy getting to see that as well.
Well, I can remember that Center Grove game because it was 32 degrees and it was very cold in that booth, and I'm sure you were nice and warm on a bus.
It was true. I was nice and warm. I was getting ready to be outside though.
That's my only complaint. You start lacrosse too early. We got to wait till April.
We really should. I mean, you're right. It starts with a heavy coat and a big hat, and all of a sudden you're in shorts and a T-shirt.
Well, we needed rain gear for the state championship game. Talk about the Final Four, and it was different this year because we had a delay for one of those games because of lightning. I think it affected your game.
It did.
On that Thursday night. Talk a little bit about the Final Four format and about Noblesville, how they hosted that great event.
Oh yeah, they did a fantastic job. Brian was very communicative all the way through with all myself and then all the other board members, which includes Beth Bowles and Emmy is on there, and Aaron Cadle and Jason Barnett. And Rachel France, all in there, and he did just an awesome job communicating and getting that set up. And they did a wonderful job as the host, putting it all in one location. That was, I think, the third time we've done that with the Final Four leading up to, and it works really well. Nobody has an advantage. There's no home field advantage at that point, and I think that was a lot of fun to be there. And also, we played second, so we were able to watch a lot of that game before ours. We see Noblesville and Guerin play. So that really is nice. And as you said, there was a little bit of a rain delay. We lost that night. We ended up moving it to the following Thursday. So we played on Tuesday. Couldn't do Wednesday, so then we went to Thursday and played Thursday against Zionsville, which turned out to be a fantastic game and certainly happy.
Talk about the state championship game. Your girls, you're down 8-4 at halftime. A lot of people in the booth, and I got to admit, we're looking at each other going, okay, what are we going to do to fill? Because if Guerin comes out and scores 8 more, it's going to be 16-8 maybe. What do we do? And then all of a sudden, your kids caught on fire, and what a great comeback.
It was a lot of fun. I think, I might have been in the same shoes you were in, thinking about what are we going to do to stop this scoring. We were down 8-2 at one point, got it to 8-4 at the half, and then we were able to get some quick goals. And really, our horse there and a lot of those goals and creating some of that was Brecken Hare, who ended up putting in, scoring 6 on the championship game, I believe.
Right.
Couple free positions that were just huge goals. That really got us there. It was a fun game. There's ways to win games, and that was one way to do it. Not one that you necessarily want to be a part of as a coach, but it was a lot of fun, and we were really excited to obviously win.
And the crowd there was awesome as well. Both teams played very, very well. You worked very hard. Talk about the leadership on your team. I know you brought 2 players tonight. Talk about that leadership, because those kids have stepped up, because you had a pretty young ball club.
We did. We only graduate 3 this year, and those 3 are big losses for us because, again, just from a leadership standpoint, just from the attitude and the positivity and the team awareness that they had is going to be hard to replace. But it was only 3, so I think we're fortunate that way. We are young. The rest of this group, we have a large junior class, which they're going to be rising seniors now. It should be a good team again coming back. So, again, they worked hard. We talked about a lot of the adversity throughout the year, from injuries to, weather cancellations, everything that can happen to a team, that happens to a team. And they didn't bat an eye. It was a lot of fun. It was a really fun group to be around this year.
Carmel, the champions of lacrosse in 2024. Last question I have you. I know that the girls lacrosse would like to make this association sport, the Indiana High School Athletic Association. How is that going, and do you think that will be done over the next couple of years, and is that a good thing for high school sports?
So, I think depends on who you ask, right? I think there's going to be some growing pains, as there always is, which we're going through now. Not being a part of it, trying to bring teams on is a challenge, and growing the sport has been a challenge. I think that, a lot of the goals of a lot of the coaches is to go to the IHSA and get that recognition, which adds a lot of validity. You all of a sudden now can get in front of athletic directors. You can advertise your sport. I think there's a lot of areas to grow if that's a route that they want us.
And a shameless plug, but that's one of the things IndianaSRN is trying to do, is expose more, and I think we've been really good for the game, because there are a lot more people who know lacrosse than what they did maybe 3 or 4 years ago.
Oh, I think so. I think IndianaSRN has been a huge part of that success, and we're excited for it, and we're excited to continue the relationship.
We talked about 2 players. They're coming up, Avery and Ellie.
Yep.
They will be, I hope they talk. One of the things they did off air, they said, well, we watched the championship game over and over, and every single time he won.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, and you're still down 8-2 somehow. Yeah, and you still come back and win every time.
And I didn't shut it off. I stayed home and watched it. Last week, you had a wide variety of audience across the world to watch that, which is pretty cool.
That's pretty awesome. I just learned that tonight from you, hearing that. That's fantastic. We're excited to hear. You know, you expect some grandparents to jump on, right? You expect some family, but that's really cool to see. And the numbers you were saying, just unbelievable. Yep. So it's fun.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate it, Keith. Thank you.
We'll take a break. When we come back, those two superstars from Carmel coming up.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there is just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family. Come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all their reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Back at the Sports Zone, Keith Myers at Aspen Creek Grill. They serve great steaks. I recommend it, and they're open during the week. Come out and join Aspen Creek Grill, a great sponsor of IndianaSRN and high school sports. With us, the Carmel Superstars, right? They say that to you, the superstar?
Oh, yeah, definitely. Something like that.
That's Avery, and that's Ellie. And you guys were very pretty intense that championship game. Talk a little bit about the season, how the season went, and then let's talk a little bit about the championship.
I think this season overall went really well. I think we started off super big with our first win down at Sacred Heart, and I think that was a real momentum push going forward into the season, and we needed that as a team.
I think we had a very, I wouldn't say difficult season, but we started off losing, for example, one of our best defenders ended up being out our whole season, and we had a lot of people step up, and we dealt with a lot of injuries and then had a lot of close one-goal games throughout the season, but we pulled away through all of our in-state games, and I think that we had a lot of good competition, and we filled in each other's shoes very well.
Avery, talk a little bit about playing teams not only in Indiana but in other states, because other states might be a little bit more advanced in lacrosse than Indiana is, and not to diminish Indiana lacrosse, but there are some teams that are a lot better or a little bit quicker in advance than Indiana teams. Talk a little bit about that.
I absolutely agree that Indiana is elevating the sport every day, and I think that going out of state to play those better teams that give us a more challenge will elevate our level as a team, and I think that the main thing that we gain from playing those out-of-state teams is elevating our skill level as well, and I think that when we challenge ourselves, we're constantly upping our skill level and meeting the level of play that these teams are providing for us.
And Ellie, talk a little bit about the teams that you play in-state, because you played a really tough schedule. Talk a little bit about the menace is Guerin. We all know that, but every single time you went on the field, when it says Carmel on the chest, people are keying in on your team. Talk a little bit about that and the pressure that might be.
I mean, we obviously all feel a lot of pressure because we've played in the past 3 state championships. We've finally come away with one, but I think we all feel like we work very well as a team, so we feel it together. But yes, we feel very kind of pressured, but also just excited to play all these teams. And yes, we want to win, and there is a lot of competition, especially all these in-state games, like playing like HSC, Noblesville. All of these are like personal rivals. But I think it's just we all have fun doing it, and we're all very competitive. So I think it's just a great experience.
And I think this year in 2A, from top to bottom, from the first to the 16 teams, 1 through 8 were really equal, wasn't they? They were really, really balanced teams. Talk a little bit about how everybody's the competition has leveled up and it made this sports a lot better.
I think we get everyone's best games when they come over to play us or we go to them. I think that those top 8 teams were real solid, and I think they were consistently changing throughout the whole season. Most of us know pretty much 1 or 2 girls on every team because they either play on our club teams and we see them throughout the summer. And I think that the skill level of working together with those girls from other schools has grown us, and I think the outreach that we have had from going over to the East Coast and playing lacrosse in the summer has elevated a bunch of these girls' skill levels.
So talk a little bit about all of a sudden we beat these teams, or we're playing all these girls, and all of a sudden now it's summer, and some of them you see every day. What's the smack talk like? Is there like, look at my state championship ring? Is there any of that, or is it just tongue-in-cheek, hey, you guys play pretty well?
I mean, it's obviously we're all friendly because, like she said, there's friends. Like, we have probably 5 or 6 girls all that we're playing in state that now we go and play club with. But there's definitely some smack talk because our club season follows exactly after the state games. But it's all just kind of more joking and we'll get you next time. Like, the smack talk is more fun.
What you do is you wear the ring on your finger and go, hey, isn't that pretty? By the way, I wear size 8, Coach. Okay, just want to let you know. Finally, summer, you're still playing. Talk a little bit about now the summer and what you're going to do, because both of you are seniors. So talk about, because now you're preparing to go to the next level and play in the next level. Talk a little bit about that.
The preparation in summer is consistently keeping us the summer is a time to get better, and going to play college lacrosse, I think now after being committed, it's the one thing in my mind is that now it's not the time to slack off, and playing in the summer. My team, Ellie and I are on the same club team, and we go out and play at the East Coast and play those teams that are reeked with Division I commits, and going out and elevates our skill level. And there's honestly, I think we go out and we either get our butts kicked sometimes and realize we're playing against top 25 Division I commits. It really, really helps us prepare for that next level.
And that's got to get you ready, because all of a sudden now you come back and tell Coach, hey, we played against this, this, and this, and he looks at all those kids, and then you have no excuse. You have to deliver.
Yeah. It's definitely a fun experience because you're playing either some good team, and you're just out there to play. It's definitely a lot less stress, and it's just more you're just out there to play with your friends that are now your teammates.
Okay, it's 91 degrees in this patio. You have sweatshirts on. Are you nice and warm, or is this fast? This is the right thing to do? Is this the new hip thing to do? Do I just wear a sweatshirt next show at 90 degrees?
It's pretty steamy. It's a little warm, very warm.
Final question: you got the summer to deal with. How is school, and what's the school? How was that week after state championship? Were they excited, or did they even know you won a state championship? Obviously, they know you won a state championship.
I think shout out to our media team, because as soon as we won that state championship, they were. Our Instagram was flooded with pictures and everything, so people definitely knew. And it was really special because we were both playing, the girls and boys team were both playing in the same day for the state title game. And I think that week after was kind of, personally, it was surreal. I think I woke up and I was like, this doesn't feel like it has been for the past, 2 or 3 years. And so it's a lot more family that are reaching out that are like, hey, you guys deserve this, and it's unreal.
I think it was definitely the most exciting week, and I think, a lot of people knew and everybody was hyped up. Everyone from Carmel was kind of reposting, oh, the big news, and it was just like all the congratulations. Like, it was definitely very exciting, but again, we've never felt that, so it was just like, it didn't feel real.
And the replay, IndianaSRN replayed it, and you guys have replayed it over and over and over again. You keep on winning. That's a good thing.
Yeah.
What would be the goal? Would it being back-to-back champions set you off pretty well? Would that be the goal? And how do you bring that to the young players? Because you were very, very young. How do you tell the freshmen and sophomores, okay, we can do this. This is what we got to do. There's got to be a lot of work, because now you have the monkey on your back, right? To now, okay, we were state champions. We got to be state champions again.
I mean, I think the biggest way we show them is, like, we get down in a game or we get down on ourselves, like, there's always a way to come back, which is, like, the biggest example being the state game. And just that, like, getting down on ourselves isn't going to, like, there's always a way to come back as long as we stick together as a team.
Yeah, I think this year we definitely learned that no lead is safe.
Right.
And we used that analogy in the state championship week. And the one mentality thing that we kept telling each other was that it's okay to make mistakes. And it's how you come back from them, and I think that's one thing that our coaches have definitely implemented.
Yeah, one of the things I know, there's a rumor going on that Coach Miller gave up and the assistant took over in the second half. There's no rumor about that. He stayed. His mustache didn't stay up. But,
it was frowning.
How was that at halftime? How was that motivational speech? It was like, it's okay, girls, we're going to be, or was he a little fired up? Because I've seen him fired up on the sidelines.
I mean, he was. I think we were fired up still. I think the mindset that he was instilling in us the whole season was keep going, and he wasn't giving any negative feedback about us. He was like, this is things we can work on. Everything that he said was how we can come back from it, and he wasn't saying, okay, this game's done. You know, you guys are down 8-4.
Thank you guys for coming in. Congratulations, state champs. I know you're coming back and help with trivia, right?
I'm ready for it.
Are you ready? Okay, we'll take a break. Joey Lindstrom joins us right after this.
From warehousing to transportation and everything in between, Piper Logistics does it all. Centrally located, Piper Logistics has 2 warehouses in Indianapolis and a warehouse in Cincinnati, Ohio. Piper Logistics houses over 1 million square feet. Along with our transportation department, we can provide service to half the United States markets.
Can't get to a computer? Then we've got you covered. Just go to the IndianaSRN app and stay up to date with all of your favorite teams. You can watch live coverage or relive the experience with our on-demand service.
At Morales Group Staffing, we are all about building better futures. And during these times, we are working hard to put people to work. We are now hiring for hundreds of jobs with pay up to $17 an hour. Visit our website at moralesgroup.net or text JOBS, JOBS, to 317-472-7600 to apply now and get hired today.
Thinking about what to do after high school? Consider a career with Boilermakers Local 374. As a Boilermaker apprentice, you'll earn while you learn. We offer excellent wages and benefits, and as part of our no-cost hands-on apprenticeship program, you'll learn from the best in state-of-the-art training centers and on the job. Become a union Boilermaker and get on your way to a great career. Find out more, visit www.local374.org or call 219-845-1000.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
Welcome back to Sports Zone on IndianaSRN from beautiful Aspen Creek Grill. Joey Lindstrom with you, and I'm joined by Tim Shefferly of Hamilton Southeastern and John Pauls, prolific goal scorer, prolific assistant coach. He's a JV head coach, and he's kind of a do-it-all guy, a jack of all trades, if you will. They are state champions after a loss in the state championship game to their rival Carmel High School a year ago. Hamilton Southeastern has reached the pinnacle once again. Guys, thank you so much for joining me. My first question is for you, Coach.
Yep.
Give me the 500-foot view of the season, your relationship with Scott Beasley, and how you guys have been able to create this culture of winning at Hamilton Southeastern, and also a little bit more anecdotally about the state championship game itself and that road to get there, having won 6 consecutive games to finally reach the pinnacle again.
Yeah, that's a mouthful.
I know. Yeah, another question, but take it
yeah,
how you will.
as far as the season went this year, it felt like we did a lot of coaching this year. We had a young team. We had a few senior starters that, stepped in and stepped up for us, but it was more about getting our guys prepared and making them understand our standards and what we want out of a team and just that kind of our culture and getting that into their minds and how they play. And, getting back there, it's always good when you beat your rival. I feel like the losses we had in the regular season really dug into our guys and motivated them to want to get better and learn how to take that second step into the second season and really excelled, I thought. I forgot the third question.
I think one thing that we wanted to head on, and it was also Coach Beasley. I think that his fervor and energy is pretty contagious,
very much.
At least from our perspective, broadcasting it. How has you guys as a coaching staff, and I'll ask John kind of the same question. What is that sort of rally cry around motivating the team?
Yeah, Coach Beasley, I met him when I started coaching in the youth, and I was the youth president for a few years, and his love and passion for the game and for the players is infectious to all the coaches, and we all kind of embrace that mentality, and we're fathers. Some of us are fathers, so we try to help raise these to be good young men, and After youth, I had a kid come up through the program and came up about 5 years ago to help out, and it's been a great experience so far, and it's looking forward to building some more strong players and young men.
And he's crushing it too. Your son Quinn,
leader
in cause turnovers on the team for Wabash this year.
Yes, he
the D3 level, playing for Coach Burke as well.
Yeah, he loves it.
Absolutely. So, John, take me back through you guys losing to Cathedral and Carmel nearly pretty close there in days between those two games, and then being able to come back and have a little retribution on the table in the playoffs. What was that experience like? How did those losses maybe in the regular season motivate you guys to go on the run that you did?
Yeah, so the two losses that we had in the regular season, having a young squad, not having a lot of people that are kind of used to those high-pressure games, even though it's in the regular season, we still treat it like it's a high-pressure game because we know that if we take wins over those two teams, we can have the preferred seeding in the playoffs. So there's still a lot of pressure on those games, and I think going into it, a lot of kids, I don't know whether they thought whatever the outcome was going to be, I think that it was just uncomfortable positions for a lot of those young kids. But then, second time around, we scouted them better. Coach Beasley, all of our coaching staff learned their mistakes when it came to the scout, just how we prepped for the game. And then finally, we got to Cathedral. We handled Cathedral pretty well. Just played way more confident, honestly. Just really played together as a team. And then we got to Carmel, and we did the same exact thing. We played confidently. We made sure to keep track of our emotions, not let the game get out of it because it is a state championship. There's a lot more on the line. But we kept our head where our feet were, and I think, honestly, we redeemed ourselves from those two games that we lost in the regular season.
There was such a pulse to this team as well because you mentioned the youth, and I wanted to touch on that. How did that sort of fuel you guys a little bit? Was it we don't know what we don't know. Let's play as loose as we can because a senior leader like yourself, we'll have Braden Myers on later, another senior leader, you guys, it fell to you guys to be able to lead this team and lead these guys into a championship type of form. Maybe talk a little bit about that as well.
Yeah, I came over from Fishers after 2 years, so I was still new to it. This was only my second ever state championship that I ever played in, but I knew what it was like last year, and I went around to a lot of the underclassmen, and I was like, during the warm-ups, just be as loud and vocal as possible. Vocalness exudes confidence in warm-ups, in my opinion, so I just told them to be as loud and vocal as possible, cheer each other up, make sure to keep each other up, especially the people on the sidelines, and I told the people that were going to be in the game and playing, Henry Wands, Kyle Jenkins, those young offensive men, I told them just play it like it's any other game. I really just wanted to make sure that yes, there was pressure riding on this game, but not all the pressure was on them too. And I just wanted to make sure that they were as confident as possible going into the game.
That game plan, Coach, maybe talk a little bit about that, how you guys plan to stop Carmel versus that first time around where slow-moving game, slower pace. This time it just felt like you guys took control. I think they got out to a 1-goal lead, and then it was a 7-1 run through the third quarter.
Yeah, it was a lot of scouting on our part, a lot of late nights in the video room, but I think we had, Coach O'Rourke comes up with great game plans all the time, consistently, especially in the postseason, and we just have when you have good athletes and talent, it helps make up a lot of your exposed weaknesses. So I think it was a lot had to do with that, and just the competitiveness of some of those younger guys and the desire to win a lot went a long way, I think, in the second season.
A favorite of ours was the post-goal celebration songs. You had one of probably the best one. Yeah. "Oh Canada," yeah, the national anthem, the Canadian national anthem. Talk a little bit about that and how you arrived at that decision to choose that as your song.
Both my parents moved here from Canada in 2000, so all my family lives up in Canada, and honestly, IndianaSRN has been amazing to my family up in Canada. They talk about the games. They love watching me be able to play despite being in another country, and so I just wanted to do a tribute to them. We were my junior year. They were talking about goal songs, and I was like, why don't I do "Oh Canada?" And they're like, that'd be pretty awesome. So, yeah, and my grandparents up there love it, so I just want to say special thanks to you guys.
No doubt. I mean, no problem. We love them. We love the songs. My only last question: did someone tell Coach Beasley to wear the royal blue pants on game day? Whose decision was that? Was that your suggestion?
On his own, actually.
No. Yeah, he loves those bright blue pants that stick out from you could probably see them from space, honestly. Yeah. So
those are generally reserved for the Color Rush Fishers game.
Yes,
so
yes.
Yeah, when we saw him show up with those, we knew it was a special day.
Yes, it is. Yeah.
It did end up being a special day. He's probably going to have to wear those.
Yeah.
He probably wears them to bed. Tim Shefferly, assistant coach for Hamilton Southeastern, and John Paul's 31 goals this year. Oh Canada ringing true for him every single day. Might as well be his alarm clock. They join us today. We're gonna have a couple more guests from Hamilton Southeastern and continue to talk about their state championship run here on Sports Zone on IndianaSRN. Thanks for joining us, guys.
Thanks for having us.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with a blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there, it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family, come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
At first, me and my mom were struggling. I was trying to pay the bills and trying to take care of my mom at the same time. When I first heard that I can get paid for taking care of my mom, I was kind of skeptical because I had been doing it for so many years without pay. That's when I reached out to Passion to Care. I read all the reviews and I saw that they were #1 in the field. Passion to Care has really, really changed my life. Right now, I take care of my mom 24/7 thanks to Passion to Care.
You want a piece of equipment you can trust, one that's easy to use. No matter the size of the job, you want to create a feeling worthwhile, something you can use for every job. For over 60 years, Reynolds has been a community staple, ensuring our customers powerful implements, top quality care and service. You need something that's in it for the long haul. Visit Reynolds Farm Equipment, your hometown John Deere dealer, today at reynoldsfarmequipment.com.
Welcome back to Sports Zone on IndianaSRN from Aspen Creek Grill. Joey Lindstrom alongside Braden Myers and Kevin Wynn, coach on Hamilton Southeastern and short stick defensive midfielder and state champions. We just had Tim Shefferly and John Pauls on. My first question is for you, Coach. Talk a little bit about your role this season. You guys had a consortium, a little bit of a high brain activity going on for the Hamilton Southeastern
absolutely
coaching squad. So talk about your role, on everything from game day to film study to what have you, because you're a former college player yourself. That tends to lend a different perspective for a lot of players.
Absolutely. So I'm fortunate enough to be a part of this staff in general. So I'm pretty much a filler guy. So I go where they need me, spend a lot of time shooting on the goalies, a lot of time helping with the offense where I can, and just helping with player development where I can. Game day looks like for me, I just love, hyping the boys up, getting them confident, going in there, making sure I let them know when they're getting those good shots and everything else like that. Probably don't spend as much time in the film room as some of our other coaches, which I don't think will be a surprise to anyone, but we definitely have some Goliaths in the film room with Beasley, Barnes, and, of course, O'Rourke, so we know that. But pretty much just trying to prepare the guys best I can, best how I would want to prepare when I was a player, and I think ultimately with all the coaches collectively, it really paid off for us this year.
There was a sense, and we talked about this during the state title game, that you guys just had a little bit extra juice. So question for you, Braden. What kind of brought that out of you guys, and what was the big motivation? John touched on it a little bit, having lost to those teams early in the season, but what kind of was the catalyst for that success?
Yeah, I think it comes down to one word, and that's expectation. There's an expectation of people outside of our locker room, and then there's also an expectation that we have inside of our locker room. And growing up through the HSC lacrosse program, there were guys that came before me that set those expectations. And to be quite honest with you, earlier in the season, the first 2 times that we played those teams, we did not meet those expectations. And it was more of we, as players, felt we let our coaches and the jersey that we were wearing, we kind of let that down, and it was and we had talked many times before this that it was not going to happen again. There was no way, it didn't matter who they had, who had the ball, we didn't care. We were not going to fall below the expectations that our coaches and the players who came before us set, and that was really what it was. It was just an idea of we weren't going to lose.
+4 scoring differential across the board. Talk a little bit about the impact that playing out of state has and how it kind of prepares you for the state tournament. Now HSC becoming more of a brand within the Midwest, and I mean, even it's going to continue to expand as you guys continue to have success. What does that mean to you, and is there kind of a shouldering responsibility, as it were, for like kind of being a powerhouse in the Midwest now?
Yeah, so first up, shout out to Coach on that. Like he's the one that gets us all those games, gets us those opportunities to go and play some of those powerhouse programs, and I think that's really a big part of what sets our program apart. Right, like we go up and we play some of the best players, not only in their state, in the Midwest, but in the country, and it gives us confidence. Like when we come and play in the state, we know, hey, we've been here, we've played these guys, like we play better than these guys, like, and it gives us an ability to reach a new potential, and also it really challenges us. Like there's some teams over there that are freaking good, right? And so there's going to be times that we have to battle back, and we were really battle tested because of some of those games that Coach set up for us.
Kevin, there's a certain spark that happens with this HSE team. What, as a coaching staff, do you guys have to do, if anything? Maybe the answer is these guys just do it themselves to get these guys motivated. Game in and game out practice. What's that tempo like?
Absolutely. So we're definitely blessed with the kids that we have to work with. Very respectful kids, very driven kids, and very hardworking kids. But I got to be honest, sometimes we struggled as a coaching staff finding what really made this group tick and what could we do to kind of get under their skins and motivate them. So we found little nuances. We brought other people into the program, or Coach Beasley did, and did whatever we could to try to kind of fire them up and get them ready for game day. And I think that showed out in the stretch, not as much during the year, but when we really honed in down the stretch, it really paid off for us, paid dividends.
We were talking a little bit about the Premier Lacrosse League before we went back on air, and there's a certain mentality you have to have as a D-Midi when you're in a gritty position. You have to have sort of an attitude. Do you draw on any inspiration, maybe a player that you've seen play professionally that has helped you kind of drive some motivation when you're playing in D-Midi?
Not as much a specific defensive midfielder, but there's some guys, that you look at and just watch the way they play, and that inspires you. To me, it's not as much about the position; it's just more the mentality. I'm not going to get beat. Michael Sowers is a player for me, so I actually started lacrosse my sophomore year, and Coach had told me, he was like, "Hey, you need to find a player, you need to learn the game, watch somebody who's elite." And at that time, he was just coming out of college, about to get drafted, and I watched Michael Sowers, and it was it just didn't matter. He was going to find a way to win, and that's the guy that I really kind of looked up to throughout my time, even though we weren't the same position.
Kevin, what about you? Did you have a player when you were growing up, going through high school, that kind of, sparked that motivation to, be better or what have you, just be a better lacrosse player?
Absolutely, absolutely. It wasn't Premier Lacrosse League back when I was in high school, but someone...
you and me are on the same age, so
right.
Yeah, I know it.
Someone I've always kind of looked up to, especially as a lacrosse player, is the Thompson brothers, in particular Lyle Thompson.
Yeah.
The things he could do with his stick that just looked so effortless, and then sting a corner behind the back, in between the legs, anything like that. Just gave me motivation personally to just go out there and try new things and try to have fun with the sport, which ultimately leads to more wins.
You guys had a group of just goers. Any position seemed to have a guy that would make an impact. Luke Williams had to step up, though, with Gavin Kreckler moving on because of graduation, now playing at Wabash with Quinn Shefferly. What did he do for this group, especially on defense, maybe as a leader back there, vocal leader, what have you, to really propel you guys into state champions?
Luke, he's a great kid, first off. But stepping into a role like Colin Kreckler, I mean, people know how dominant he was. He started every year for us. I got to play with him, and then obviously I play with Luke too. And it takes an ability to be willing to learn, right? Because no one can step in and be Colin Kreckler on day one. And you can ask Luke, he wasn't on day one. But at the end, he was making saves sometimes, and I hope Colin's not watching this, but sometimes he couldn't even make, right? And that was because he was willing to learn, and he was willing to work very, very hard, and he was a great teammate. And honestly, he never once talked about his stats, nothing. He just wanted to win, and I think that really motivated our defense, because it's like, hey, we don't want to let them take a shot on our goalie, because he's playing for us, right? So we were playing for them, and that's really what it caused us to play more as a team, losing a guy like Colin and getting in a new guy like Luke, who's phenomenal, and he'll do great next year as well.
John had the best post-goal song. Obviously, we talked about that ad nauseum. You had a couple goals this year, and it's not common for short-stick defensive midfielders to get goals, so you probably remember them. Maybe you label those out. And then what was your song that you had played after you scored?
Yeah, so so my first goal was against Fishers, which was a blowout game, so I don't really count that. But my next goal was against Cathedral in semi-state, which was actually a good goal. I count that one. And my goal song was more to hype some people up, so I did Ski Yeet, which is a pretty hype song. You should go listen to it.
Love that. And what would your goal song be if you had one to choose from? I know I'm putting you on the spot.
I don't know. Maybe 100 Shots by Young Dolph. That's a good one, just spraying the goal. But I will say, during Braden's goal, you might have caught a couple of the coaches saying, no, yes, out there. So it was good to hear that song whenever it came on this year.
Those have to be some of the best, though, that when you know that there's a chance that it might go in, but you're a little too scared to see him try it out.
It's always great when it falls, that's for sure.
Yeah, that's one of those where you make it and then they don't say anything, and if you miss it, you stay far away.
Get on the line.
You just go play some defense for a while.
Back in line when it's time to get back on the field for your midi line. Yeah, that's exactly right. Braden Myers and Kevin Wynn joining me. Thank you so much, fellas, and congratulations again.
Thank you. Appreciate you guys having us.
We're on Sports Zone here in IndianaSRN. Be back with you from Aspen Creek Grill after the break for some trivia.
We encourage you to subscribe to our YouTube channel, IndianaSRN. Hit the bell to get notifications for upcoming games and more. Watch as many games as you want, as many times as you want.
We really focus on modern application development, DevOps, so automating the whole process of delivering your solution, and cloud architecture.
It's very important for mid to large companies to have cloud partners, because you can't possibly have all the talent you need. to address the complex ecosystem of the cloud.
We advise them on all parts of their business. And then when things are defined and we see a clear goal, Clean Slate also then goes and does the work.
We have a team that is very passionate about what they do. We love to solve complex problems, and there's a lot of companies out there that will avoid, getting involved in those things, and I think that's why clients like to work with us.
Welcome back to this Sports Zone. Porter is with me, along with Avery, and it's time for trivia questions. First of all, Porter, you play lacrosse. How good are you in lacrosse?
I'm the best.
You're the best. Okay. Who's taught you lacrosse? Because I hear you have your mom's athletic ability. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, good. Are you ready for trivia?
Yeah.
Okay, there's 5 questions. If you get them all 5 right, you get nothing. If you get all 5 wrong, you get nothing. So that's pretty cool, huh?
Okay.
You excited?
Yep.
Avery's going to help you. So if you need some help, you just go help.
Okay.
Can you say help?
Help.
Okay. And she's nervous because she knows you're talented. Okay, here's the first trivia question. Who won Mr. Basketball in 2014? Billy Shepard, Luke Zeller, or Trey Lyles? Do you want to ask Avery?
Help.
Trey Lyles.
Very good. Trey Lyles, that's correct. 1 for 1, huh? How about that? She should get half of your prize, which half of nothing is nothing. Okay, question number 2. Who won the 2024 Girls Lacrosse 2A State Championship? Was it Carmel, Park Tudor, or Greenwood?
I think it was Carmel.
That's correct. 2 for 2. Question number 3. Ready? This is a tough one. What is the HSE nickname called? Is it the Bears? That's at Hamilton Southeastern. Is it the Bears, the Lions, or the Royals?
Help.
The Royals.
The Royals is correct. 3 for 3. Number 4. What is Taylor Swift's middle name?
Allison.
Whoa! Woo! Do you like Taylor Swift?
Not really.
Shake it off. Shake it off. All right, 5th one. You're 4 for 4. You're cocky, aren't you?
Yeah.
Okay, there we go. Number 5. What is the name of the Indiana Fever mascot? Is it Boomer, Freddy, or Fever?
Phone a friend.
Phone a friend.
Can I hear the options again?
Yeah. Is it Boomer, Freddy, or Fever? Freddie.
I'm going to go with Freddie.
Yeah, that's correct. Good job. Congratulations.
Yay.
Good job. You want to say anything to your friends because they're watching now?
I'm so good at trivia.
Yeah, you're very good at trivia. IndianaSRN will be back with Joey to wrap things up on Sports Zone.
Aspen Creek Grill, we are a from-scratch concept with comfort fresh food. You can expect a world-class experience on a great budget. We've got incredible specials, great service. Today's dish that we're going to highlight is going to be our Aspen Blue Sirloin. It is, again, our premium Black Angus certified beef, and we top that with the blue cheese crust. Again, everything that we do here is made from scratch, and it's no different from our steaks. We hand cut all our steaks in-house. So our team back there it's just an incredible team. Everything that they do, they take so much pride in. They put a little bit of themselves into everything that they do over here, especially since it is a made from scratch concept. We want everybody to come, visit us, enjoy some great food with some great service. Bring your friends, bring your family. Come have some great food, have a great time with us with some of the best comfort scratch food.
Our countdown is great, isn't it? It goes from 5 to 2 to 1. Sports Zone, we want to thank Aspen Creek Grill, Joey Lindstrom with us. What a great show, huh?
Oh, we couldn't have had better guests. Couldn't have had better, well, we could have had better trivia, but that's okay. Maybe a better trivia host.
We won't be. That's the last questions.
No, you're right. It was an excellent recap to talk to all the state champions and to really get their fresh perspectives.
Right.
That's what I love about this sport too, is that it continues to grow because you have some of the best minds and best players
in the Midwest right here in Indiana.
The cool thing is we've just been doing this for 4 or 5 years, and the sports has expanded. And the cool thing is that they know what we do, but people now follow what we do, and it's made you a star because you're doing more than just lacrosse now.
Well, yes, but it's because of the roots. I can't forget that. You guys get the chance to give me the platform to call the games, but it's really about the players in the field and the opportunities that we get to broadcast it. That's the special part, and it's not so bad being around you. You're pretty funny yourself.
Well, I got a haircut today.
You've learned the game. You have learned the game like more about the game than I would ever.
Well, because Coach Miller tells me about the game all the time, and we have the same haircut person.
Yes, exactly. Yeah.
Floyd the barber.
I think you need to work on the mustache part of that equation.
This is 10 days growth right here, Joe.
Wow, that's pretty good.
That's
That's
really
pretty
good. As we wrap things up, Little League Baseball coming in August 2nd, then the football preview show. 45 football games on Friday night, and that's 5 games each week on IndianaSRN. We'll do 320 games. We're excited, and we're excited to say the HCAC network is going to be right here on IndianaSRN this year.
Busy fall, and kudos to you, to Jerry, and to the entire SRN team to be able to do that and keep building it up.
We want to thank everybody that joined us, and it's been a fun time. Thanks to Jerry. Jerry got here early to set everything up, and we want to thank the ladies behind the scene as well, doing all the makeup. They really took a long time to get my makeup.
You got makeup?
Yeah. Did you see?
Oh, yeah.
We'll take a break. No, we won't take a break. We're going to say goodbye, and thanks for joining us.